I've got some doozies for you. Vehicles to avoid, some of the worst vehicles by value. And this value is determined by a couple of factors: depreciation, insurance, maintenance, loan interest, and fuel costs. 5 to avoid. Let's begin. So the average cost of owning a Ford EcoSport for 5 years, 29 grand. So over that 5 years, depreciation, $9,300 or 32%. Insurance, 27% to make up that 29 grand at $7,800. Fuel costs, $6,700, and that's 23% of the vehicle. And interest around 11% at $3,100. Maintenance, only 8% over those 5 years at $2,400. When new, a typically equipped Ford EcoSport sells for around $26,700 on average, but after 5 years, the average residual value, about $17,500. Insurance doesn't seem like a lot, maybe $1,500 a year, but after 5 years, you're approaching the $8,000 mark. If you were to finance an EcoSport after 5 years, again, just over $3,000, assuming a 72-month loan, APR of 4.75% if you can find that, along with 20% down. Maybe a silver lining, the average miles per gallon for an EcoSport, 27. So cost, of course, will vary based on whatever the gas prices are during that year, that month. $6,700 after 5 years, or just over $1,300 annually, assuming you drive 12,000 miles per year. If that's 55% city, 45% on the highway. Nissan Maxima. The average cost of owning one for 5 years, 42 grand. That's based on depreciation of $15,000 or 36% of that number. Insurance, 27% or $11,200. Fuel, 20%. Interest, 12% at $5,200. And maintenance, very low, $1,600 over 5 years or only 4%. When new, a typically equipped Nissan Maxima sells for around $44,600. But on average, after 5 years, the residual value, just around $30,000. Again, depreciating by $15,000 after 5 years of ownership. Insurance, about $2,200 for the annual cost, but over 5 years, you're looking at $11,200. Moving on to maintenance, this is a good one. Only $1,600 after 5 years. Again, that was that 4% mark we're talking about. And if you were to finance it, again, under those same terms of 72 months, 4.75% for the APR and 20% down, $5,200 after 5 years. Fuel economy, well, the average is 24 miles per gallon. That'll cost you around 9 grand for fuel in 5 years, or about $1,800 annually. Kia Sorento, 38 grand is the average cost of owning a Sorento for 5 years. 42% is the depreciation after 5 years, or $16,000. 21% is what you'll pay in fuel, about 8 grand. 12% in interest, insurance about 19-20%, maintenance is low at 6%. So we're looking at numbers that will say $40,000 on average when you buy one new, but after 5 years, the residual value on average is about $24,000. Again, dropping by 16 grand after 5 years. Insurance about $1,500 a year, so $7,200 after 5 years of owning that vehicle. Your maintenance, again, was low at 6%, or about $2,100 after 5 years. Financing, $4,700. Again, same terms there. And fuel economy, on average, this vehicle gets around 23 for this SUV, or about 8 grand after 5 years, or about $1,600 a year in gas. The cost of owning a Hyundai Santa Fe for 5 years, around $40,000. Yeah, that's a big number. Depreciation is 42% at $16,500. Insurance, 22%, $8,800. Fuel, about 20%. Interest, $11,000. And maintenance is low at $2,100 or 5%. So it typically sells on average new about 38 grand, but it's going to drop down and have a residual value of $21,000 after 5 years, so you're losing $16,500 if you were to keep it for the full 5 years. Insurance, $1,700 a year, or just about $9,000 after 5. For maintenance, that's the low one, $2,100 after 5 years. Financing, $4,400, and then fuel cost. 24 miles per gallon is the average, so $7,500 for fuel, again, assuming 12,000 miles driven per year, or about $1,500 a year in gas. And one of the worst cars by value is the Honda Insight. The cost of owning one after 5 years, $34,800, almost $35,000. Now here's the breakdown. 47% is attributed to depreciation at $16,500, insurance 28%, interest 11%, fuel 10%, maintenance again kind of low at 4%, $1,400. So when typically equipped, if you buy one of these, on average new, if you were to buy it new, about $31,500, and then $15,000 is what it's worth, the residual value after 5 years, dropping again by $16,500. Insurance just under $2,000 a year, almost $9,500 after 5 years. Maintenance low at $1,500. Financing $3,600 after 5 years. And then your fuel economy, this is a great one. This is the silver lining to this one, even though it's one of the worst in terms of value. Average of 50 miles per gallon. That'll cost you $3,600 for fuel after 5 years, or $725 annually. And those are your top 5 cars with the worst value based on the criteria that I just outlined. If any of those vehicles seem interesting, okay, it's all yours. If not, check out quotes.everymandriver.com, quotes.everymandriver.com. Get a great deal in your area from a qualified dealership, lowest prices, insider access to dealer pricing, quotes.everymandriver.com, make, model, in your zip code. If you don't find what you're looking for in your zip code, change the zip code. Be willing to travel a few miles, save a few hundred, possibly a few $1,000s on a new or used vehicle by checking out quotes.everymandriver.com. There's also a link below this video.
Today's video is brought to you by The Cold Plunge. Use discount code DAVE150 at checkout at thecoldplunge.com. Immediately save $150 off your purchase. That's DAVE150 at thecoldplunge.com. There's also a link below this video.
One final note, if you are in the market for a new vehicle soon, great. Connect with your local dealership and price and test drive at least 3 different vehicles. A vehicle's strengths and weaknesses can only be discovered when you are behind the wheel. My reviews can be good, but you need to test drive these yourself. Visit quotes.everymandriver.com, select the make, model, and your zip code, and you'll get invoice pricing in your area on those vehicles. Shop smarter with price quotes at quotes.everymandriver.com.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up.